In this recording, we're going to take a look at 5 ways to help you make a positive return to the workplace. Thinking about technology, processes, people, and bringing them together to create an environment that supports hybrid and flexible working. Step 1 is all about the user experience. It's tempting when we think about meeting spaces to start with the technology. What camera do I need? How big should the screen be on the wall? But we know that the best results happen when you flip that thinking, when you start with the user experience. Put yourself in the shoes of the person that's using the space. What is it you want to achieve when you enter that meeting room? Who else is going to be taking part? Will you be using a laptop? What resources do you need to share? By taking this approach, thinking about how the room's going to be used, mapping that user experience, and then supporting that with straightforward, easy to use technology, you will create an environment that delivers the best possible experience for people who are going to be using that meeting space. Step 2 is all about sound. Since we've all been working remotely, there's been a massive focus on video calls and video. But if you think carefully about what makes a good video meeting, audio is almost always the most critical element. If you cannot hear, if you cannot be heard, then you cannot fully participate in the activity and the conversations that are happening in that meeting space. Those of us who've been working from home have high expectations when it comes from audio, particularly if you've been used to using a headset. But when you walk into that meeting space, that mic is no longer positioned just a few inches from your mouth, and the speakers are no longer directing audio immediately into your ears. And that's important because the environment that you are working in massively changes the way that sound behaves. The furnishings that are in the space, the layout of the room, the position of all of the technology. And if we consider that moving forwards, we expect most meetings to contain or involve remote participants, having a good audio experience is going to be more critical than ever. Now, good audio can sometimes come at a premium, but this is one area where we would encourage you to invest. Nothing has a greater impact on meeting effectiveness, particularly those involving remote participants, as the ability to hear and be heard. If you correctly manage the acoustics of the space that you're working in, and you match that with the right hardware choices, you are going to create an environment that enables the most productive types of meeting to happen, both for your in-room and your remote participants. Moving on now to step 3. Many of us will not be starting with a blank canvas, and the chances are, in the rush to equip your business for remote working and to enable continuity during lockdown, compromises will have been made, perhaps in the choice of hardware, or perhaps in the way that that technology has been rolled out to your workforce. So now we have an opportunity as we start to think about solutions that are going to take us beyond lockdown and into the longer term to really have a look at what we've got. Review what works, identify areas of challenge, and find those areas of success. Now, that might mean we need to think about organising training plans. Perhaps the introduction of online user guides or how-to videos would help even out adoption across the organisation. Also, it's not necessarily about throwing everything away and starting from scratch. You should work with AV partners, people like Pure AV, to understand what works, phase out and adapt the things that work less well. And finally, find those people within your organisation who've really adapted well and responded to these new ways of working. Encourage them, make them your champions, and help them to share best practice amongst your organisation. Because when you do that, when you take and review what's happened so far, when you take that and you work with your AV partner to adapt, to refine, and reproduce what works, and you support that with the knowledge and experience of champions from within your organisation, you are going to create the best possible environment to encourage and optimise adoption of the solutions that you are going to be bringing into. Step 4 is all about you. There's an enormous amount to be gained learning from others, but you must remember to get the best results you need to make that solution your own. Organisations like Pure AV, particularly during lockdown, have spent a great deal of time working with different businesses on different solutions to help keep them communicating. And as we work through that process, we learn, we adapt the solutions we take forward. But the important thing here is that we do not assume. Hybrid working is an enormously broad topic, and good system design will always start with you, your use case, and how you intend to work. So, whoever you work with, you should absolutely take inspiration from others. You should work with companies like Pure AV who can bring you that learned experience, but always remember and always expect that those partners you work with are very much focused in on you and how you need to use those technologies. Because by doing that, by gaining inspiration from others, combining that with the learned experience, and really driving and focusing in on that use case for your business, you will ensure that you get the best possible solution for your organization and your particular situation. On to step 5. Now, this step is a reminder, really. As much as digital transformation and hybrid working is about technology and process, it is critically and fundamentally about people. Having the technology is simply not enough. We need to ensure that people are empowered and that they are equipped to make the most of the resources that we make available for them. This is about setting clear expectations. It's about ensuring there's equality for everybody to access these new tools and resources. And it's about adapting the way that we work and manage our people. On your checklist should be the questions: have we implemented adequate training for everybody? Have we got the processes in place to monitor the well-being of those who are new to this way of working? And are management and employee expectations aligned? Is that split between home and office working expected by the manager reflected in the expectations of the employees? If you can do these things, then you will be able to free your employees to choose the workplace or the workspace that delivers the very best outcome for the tasks that they need to achieve, rather than choosing location out of habit or a sense of duty. When you combine empowered people with environments that have been optimized and support that with straightforward, easy to use technology, you've got all of the ingredients you need to create a workplace that's going to encourage productivity, offer flexibility, and give you the best possible chance to thrive in this new hybrid way of working. So those are our 5 steps to creating a hybrid workplace that thrives. If you'd like to talk to a member of the Pure AV team or find out a bit more about how to prepare for this new hybrid way of working, please visit the Pure AV website or look for the hashtag 12 days, 12 ways.